There's a famous hadith narrated in Bukhari and Ibn Majah where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when Ramadan comes, the gates of paradise are open, the gates of hell are closed, and Satan's are chained. How should we understand this hadith, especially the part about the Satan or Shaitan being chained? Because most people, you may see people around you that are still sinning, or you may even sin yourself. So how should we understand this hadith about Satan being chained? I'm going to explain this in two ways. The first one is what we're imagining chaining of Satan could be wrong. We're thinking that maybe he's tied to a tree, completely unable to move, chained completely. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe we should visualize chaining of Satan like a dog would be chained, where there's still some slack in the chain, as you might say. So basically, Satan is not completely immobilized. If you get too close to sinning, basically you're asking for it and Satan might just grab you, trap you into it still. This is one way to look at it. So we're just imagining the chaining to be wrong. Because ultimately, if we're thinking of a physical chain, and Satan is made from fire, right? He's of the jinn kind. The material chain cannot stop Shaitan. We need to think about Satan being chained in a different way. And what this hadith really means is that the effect of Shaitan on our nafs, on ourselves, is significantly reduced. And we can actually feel this. We all feel that we are more religious in Ramadan, and we stay away from sins easier. We're not easily tempted in Ramadan. So in a way, the gates of paradise are open. That is, we are more inclined to do good things and therefore go to paradise. And the gates of hell are closed, meaning we are less inclined to sinning or doing things that would take us to hell. And we are less inclined to follow Shaitan. And the reason for this is the way we are designed, or what really makes us do wrong things, is in our nafs. The nafs doesn't go away. So fasting actually does the chaining on our nafs. So when we look at the brain, the human brain, the area that's really responsible for our impulsive, compulsive actions, bad habits, is what we call the midbrain, especially the basal ganglia. And there's also a place called striatum in the brain. Basal ganglia is responsible for quick decisions, quick actions, habit formation. Striatum is responsible for rewards. This is where the dopamine becomes really important. When you do something you like or it's necessary, a reward is given and a habit is formed. And also the motor functions of the body is also linked there. So in a way, Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this middle part of the brain so that we form habits, things become easier for us to do. In dangerous situations, we don't need to wait too long. We have to make quick decisions, get away, or save ourselves. But this part of the brain has no checks. The basal ganglia, striatum, they have a free run. In a way, that's how the nafs, human nafs, is. The prefrontal cortex is the main area that regulates this midbrain. This is the part of the brain in the front, which is about controls decision making, regulations of emotions, reviewing rewards, looking at consequences of actions, especially the right at the front orbitofrontal cortex is very important. So when we fast, these aspects of the brain, the frontal cortex takes charge, and the basal ganglia, striatum, the middle part of the brain becomes less important when we're fasting, because the brain produces something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This is a protein that's very important for the brain, the health of the brain, plasticity of the brain, the communication that takes place, especially in the frontal cortex. That really increases when we're fasting. So that's frontal cortex is taking charge. There's also the dopamine receptors in the striatum become more sensitive. More sensitive meaning we don't need to do a lot of follow our desires to satisfy the brain or satisfy the nerves. So this is how we should perhaps imagine this hadith, the hadith about the gates of paradise being open. The paradise was open all the time. It's just that we are more inclined to do the things that will take us to paradise in Ramadan. The gates of hell, if people die, non-believers, major sinners, or surely they're not going to go to paradise even if they die in Ramadan. So the gates of hell closing is a metaphorical expression saying that we will be less inclined to do evil things. And shaitan being chained means that we will have more control of our nerves. May Allah accept your fasting and make Ramadan a blessed month for you and your families.